Tonight, two former champions are trying to get back to the winner's circle here at the PBA signature event, the Tournament of Champions. 2020 winner, Kris Prather, and 2021 champion, the Canadian François Lavoie. They are 2 of 17, still in the hunt as we begin our weekend-long coverage of the TOC. We welcome you to the Madison Square Garden of Bowling, Riviera Lanes, just outside of Akron, Ohio. And it will be Fox Sports home over the next 3 days as we present the Tournament of Champions. We are down to our final 17 competitors. We're going to see our top 4 qualifiers live Sunday over on Fox. But first, we have to determine who will join that list. Our 4 hours of live coverage tomorrow here on FS1 includes reigning Player of the Year Jason Belmonte, plus Kyle Troop. But tonight, we're going to start with these 5 talents, 2 former TOC champs in Lavoie and Prather. Gruendler makes his TV debut, and the big nasty is our 14 seed. 8 hours of TOC coverage begins right now here on Fox Sports. So glad you're here with us. Rob Stone and a pair of Hall of Famers with you. Norm Duke and Randy Peterson, the man they're chanting for behind us right now. This is a tradition, or this is a tournament based in tradition, right? It's the venue, it's the legends, it's the moments, but some innovation this year. A unprecedented 17-man stepladder final. And the man on top of that stepladder, the man on top of the PBA right now, E.J. Tackett.
Absolutely he is. I mean, E.J. Tackett already with 3 wins, and it all started at this tournament right here, this year's U.S. Open. E.J. Tackett last year, if you remember, led this event and fell flat. And he vowed to himself, no way that's happening again. He ran away with the qualifying this year's U.S. Open and closed the deal in convincing fashion. E.J. Tackett, 19 titles, 3 majors. All of his struggles that he used to have on television, all gone now. 2023, a completely different year for E.J.
That's Sunday.
That is Sunday.
But here we are on Friday night. We got a long way to go there, but this is March Madness. We saw what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
2-seed Arizona falling to Princeton. So the underdogs do have their say in sports this month. So let's talk about those underdogs. This 17-man stepladder, it's more like a Jacob's ladder. Here are the 5 that are in contention today, and it's 2 that jump out to you tonight.
Yeah, we've got 2 past champions. You know what? They find themselves in familiar territory, you might think. Not so much. They have to run 4 consecutive ladders. Oh, my God, that seems impossible. Not only that, they got to go through the big nasty. Wes Malott, veteran, Hall of Famer. He knows all about this environment. I'll tell you what, first things first. You got to advance out of tonight in order to keep your Tournament of Champions dream alive.
Survive and advance to Saturday.
I got one for you. What's today? Is
Friday.
Is it
St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, St. Patrick's Day, right? Out of our 17 players in the stepladder finals, we have 1 left-hander. Goes by the name of Packy Hanrahan. Now, that sounds a little Irish to me.
It sounds a lot Irish, and you're going to hear from Packy next as Kimberly Pressler standing by with him and François Lavoie.
That's right, Packy is a very Irish name, so how fitting it is that he makes his first TOC telecast on St. Patrick's Day. So, Packy, do you got a little bit of that Irish luck going for you this week?
I'm sure hoping so. I mean, it is St. Patty's Day.
It is, and you're making a little luck for yourself because you're the only southpaw left in the rest of the stepladder. So how much is that going to benefit you?
I hope a lot, to be honest, but you never know what the lanes are going to do and how they're going to transition. So hopefully it goes well for me.
You never know what's going to happen. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
François, the last time that we saw you at a TOC, you ran the stepladder and you won it all. But this stepladder is just a little bit different. You got 16 competitors that you have to go through in order to make it to that trophy once again. So what's going to be the key to success to make that happen for you?
I guess I'll say patience. It's going to take a while. I have ran this ladder before. I'm going to try to do it again, but it's a pretty unique situation I'm in. I'm just going to take it 1 match at a time.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Kimberly, thank you. So François ran the ladder back in 2021 where he was the 5 seed and ended up winning it all. This time around, he is the 16 seed. But again, this is March Madness. Weird things happen in the month of March. And here we are on St. Patrick's Day with a good Irishman like Packy Hanrahan out on the lanes.
Number 16 seed, François Lavoie.
Well, we asked Frankie about St. Patrick's Day back in Canada. Not much of a thing was his response. Native of Quebec City, Canada. Lives in Wichita right now. 7th year on the tour. 5 tour titles, 3 of them are majors. Not how you want to start.
Well, this opening match, these two players actually bowled together at Wichita State. And, you know, one of the things, guys, that I'm sure we're going to be touching on throughout these 4 stepladder finals is what about the mental part of it, Norm? I mean, I ran the ladder to win my first ever event, and I remember what that was like mentally. And now you have to do it 4 times. I mean,
Yeah, I was in the same position as you, Randy. I ran my first ladder, and to do it 4 times, good luck.
Looking for his first PBA Tour title, he bowls out of North Rock Lanes in Wichita, Kansas. Number 17 seed, Packy Hanrahan.
yeah, go ahead and just finish your thought on that, Norm.
Yeah, that's it. Good luck. I mean, you asked me about the mental stress. Oh, it's there. Physical stress, not so much mentally. It is brutal. And I say again, good luck.
Hall of Famer Fred Borden right behind Packy right there in the stands.
I think I see the Hall of Famer Seth Shore in the background as well.
Golly kicks. Hanrahan, a little luck of the Irish in the opening frame. Packy, born Patrick Hanrahan Jr., but he was this close to being Seamus Hanrahan.
Using Purple Hammer. What were you going to say, Norm? I know you were going to say something.
I just don't think that I've ever seen Packy use anything else except non-reactive. Now, he is a two-hander. He's going to get high rev rate.
And again, the only lefty left in the field and gets another. Ooh. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned luck of the Irish.
Twice.
Well, he tripped the 6-pin on that opening shot. Here he crosses over and trips the 4.
Yeah, that head pin just bullied the 4-pin from behind.
François using, hang on, what is he using? Infinite physics?
Whatever it was, it worked. Let's take a look at tonight's Brunswick oil pattern. It is the Don Johnson 40. Of course, Don Johnson, the 1970 TOC winner.
Well, guys, I mean, you can see where François is playing. And the right-handers are just going to migrate in off of that blue line, and they're going to move left as that pattern breaks down. Right now, Packy's going much straighter than that red line, using, like Norm mentioned, urethane. And François Lavoie using 2 different balls. Infinite physics on the left lane. Whoa. Whoa.
Messenger.
Oh. Yeah, take that, trip 4, trip 6. How about a little trip 10?
Well, if you're going to open out of the gate, you want to do it in the first frame of the first game of the first telecast. So maybe he's finished.
Some of these pins have apparently been celebrating St. Paddy's Day all day. A little wobbly.
They are wobbly.
Oh, Rob. Only you.
Packy. Opening triple.
That's taking advantage, huh, Norm?
Yeah, that's definitely taking advantage. And don't let him get a couple of breaks early, make a small move on each lane. He'll just start.
Can he withstand that reaction, that urethane ball? Can he do that for 4 games?
He can do that for 16 games.
On the same pair of lanes now,
Yes.
Norm. We're not moving across the house.
Yes, he's by himself. All he's got to do is act like it's 4 games of practice. He's done that many times. Yes, I think he can last the whole time. Trouble.
Never came back.
I can draw if you'd like.
Yeah, well, trouble. He gave it a little bit of room. He says, never came back. but it seemed to me like he missed it and missed left.
Trust it. It's going to hurt.
He's going to try to get the ball over here to the right side of the head pin and cut it into the 7. And hopefully the ball takes care of the 3 and the 9. Nope. Not enough cut.
1-3-9 drop, 7 left standing. So François had an open frame in the first. Packy with an open frame here in the 4th after opening up with 3 straight strikes. The Irishman takes a seat.
All right, so we got our ball thing straightened out here, Rob. I know how you love some of the names of these bowling balls. So François is using proton physics on the right lane and infinite physics on the left lane.
What's the hang up with physics?
I just think it's kind of cool that it's about physics, right?
I think it's about time that we offered up our services to the marketing department of these bowl companies and come up with our own line of balls.
Well, I think that you're best.
You know I'm not wrong.
I think you're best qualified for that. Now, Norm, let's talk about the big change that François has made a week ago coming into this event.
Yeah, the grip change you're mentioning. He said he needed to shorten the span. He is going now with no reverse in the thumb. So he's trying to get the grip shorter so that it's not stretching his hand out and restricting the exit of the thumb, but he's also trying to get less reverse so that he can hold it.
Yeah, he said that, you know, this change has allowed me to do more things with my hand at the bottom, and I'm a little bit cleaner at release, he told us.
And he has to do a lot more than most people because he doesn't have the rev rate. And I think the unbelievable thing is he made this change right before this week, drilled 9 new balls, and here we go.
He mentioned he'd been putting it off, right? We all put things off. He'd been putting off, finally had enough in Jackson. Oh, boy, missed that one in open frame, put it off. And then in Jackson, Michigan, he said, that's it, time to make a change. So he said the pro shops and the high schools in Jackson, Michigan have all of my old stuff.
Yeah.
He just dumped it and left it in Jackson, Michigan.
Dumped it, but he also said that he's struggling a little bit with a spare release because it's different on not only his strike ball, but his spare ball. Maybe that's one of the reasons he chopped that.
By the way, did you guys see François chop the 4 off the 7? You know how hard that is to do?
Terribly hard.
Back to Hanrahan. Open frame in the 4th. Back on the strike train in the 5th. From the mean streets of Greenwich, Connecticut.
Wait, what?
The mean streets of Greenwich, Connecticut. Patrick Hanrahan bowled collegiately at Wichita State. I love this story. His mom, Abby, you know, talking to her son near the tail end of his college career. What do you want to do? And he said, I think I'm just going to be a gym teacher, was getting his degree in physical education. And she said, that's not what you want, is it? And he said, no, I want to be a pro bowler, but I'm not even in the top 8 of my college team.
Yeah, right.
Not even in the top 8. And Mom said, that's your love, that's your passion. We're going to support you. And here he is in the TOC, his first TOC appearance.
It's close.
Robert, you're from the Connecticut area originally, aren't you?
I am, but I'm on the other side of the track, Simsbury. I mean, we had it really rough in Simsbury. You know, 7 to 9 square meals a day. You know, multiple country clubs to choose from. It was tough, Randy.
Yeah, sounded tough.
Have you ever been in Greenwich, Connecticut? I've had buddies who grew up there. Let me tell you, that's living the good life. That's living the good life down there, man.
I was just thinking to myself, I highly doubt, I've never been there, but I highly doubt the mean streets are in Greenwich,
Come on, man.
Connecticut.
Packy Henry has a mean street posse. Don't go messing with an Irishman on St. Paddy's Day. Hanrahan with the early lead here at the TOC. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Knock your initial mortgage rate down by up to 3% with rate reduce from Guaranteed Rate. Learn more at rate.com. '35th year that the Tournament of Champions has been held here inside historic Riviera Lanes. Always a great crowd here. Flashback machine. We go back to 2021. tournament was held down in Florida. The 5-seed François Lavoie ran the ladder. Sean Rash down. Jesper Svensson down. Jason Belmonte down. And then finally the top seed Anthony Simonson fell to Lavoie as he earns his 5th career tour title and 3rd career major. And there is Frankie right now, down 9 pins. Had that open frame in the 5th. Here he is to close out the 6th. Strike number 4 for Frankie.
Now take a look at how these two players are attacking the 40-foot Don Johnson oil pattern. Lavoie, the red ball. Packy, the blue one. You can see Packy's pretty close to that second arrow, whereas Lavoie just inside. 3rd arrow, almost 4th arrow for Lavoie. And take a look at the break point, completely different. Position at the arrow is completely different. And also the laydown area, the launch position. Lavoie playing the left lane norm about 3 boards hooking more than the right. With 2 different balls. I can't say that pin.
No, I will. That's a solid 8. It's the toughest break in bowling, and he does it on a strike when he could have taken the lead.
What did he leave behind? I'm sorry, I was looking away.
Yeah, bowling's just not fair, Rob.
What pin was it?
You know what pin it was.
I don't. What is? Oh, there it is, the 8 pin.
Yeah, we all feel exactly that. He'll just run the spare down and move on.
Yeah, and I think the worst part of that, aside from leaving the 8, like you said, normally he was working on a strike, he could have taken the lead. I mean, talk about a kick to the gut.
And it's a kick to the gut, too. You know. Yeah, we know.
Or lower.
Well, Hanrahan gets up. He's +9 instead of down in the match, and Frankie doesn't have the hammer up, so he can do some damage in the next 2 frames.
Working off a spare.
Good shot.
Crazy game, isn't it?
It is
pretty
a crazy
good,
game.
Pretty good shot there. Leaves the ring in 7.
Well, so far he is on the good side of that. He has tripped a 4-pin and a 6-pin in this game, and then his opponent left a solid 8. So
he's still on the plus side.
Yeah, he's still on the plus.
All right. Rob?
This is best TOC finish ever.
Good shot.
Won a couple regionals a few years back to get the invite. Had to go through qualifiers to get here. In fact, he got a call after midnight this week from our good friend Ronnie Russell informing him that Mike Devaney had dropped out. You're probably not going to hear about it until the morning, but I'm going to tell you right now, you're still alive.
Yeah. Get your shoes ready.
Get your shoes ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the last player in the field.
Leaves double wood, the winner, to take on 15 seed Tim Gruendler, who will be making his TV debut. Gruendler, the native of St. Louis, Missouri. Later on, Wes Malott, the big nasty, and then Kris Prather, your 13 seed. And then 4 hours of live coverage Saturday on FS1, and then 2 more Sunday on Fox.
Light back-to-back shots on that left lane, Norm. You said what?
Yeah, he's got a little hang down lane.
Yes, sir.
What is hang? Hang is a little bit of carry down, maybe just a little bit of topography, cause the ball not to hook as much as he wants it to.
Good cover, though.
Great cover. So Packy takes a seat. Lavoie comes up, and Norm, in our meetings with François Lavoie, you saw a stat that caught your eye.
Yeah, 9-1 TV record in major championships. That's unheard of. That is unheard of.
He's like, I like it on TV. I like the opportunities. What a great answer.
Yeah.
The opportunities of succeeding at a major on television.
Yeah, when you have 5 titles and 3 of them are majors, yeah.
You're not afraid of the big moment.
That's the best 5 titles I've ever heard of.
Right? U.S. Open champ in 16 and 19, and the TOC, as we showed you back in 2021. Going after the 4-pin.
Well, in the U.S. Open, to me, is tailor-made for a player like François.
Kind of
I mean, it's
re-rack
not
this?
let's rip driver on every hole and have a wedge in, right?
That's exactly right.
I mean, François is as good a shot maker as we have. He can trick the ball up and do lots of different things with his release. His speed control is excellent, and he's, again, a shot maker, which is what you need to win U.S. Open.
Yeah, one other thing he's feeling it on the inside, but he stays even keel, so his opponents are never feeling like they have an advantage because because it's affecting him.
Right. You don't see emotion coming out of François.
Gets all 10 to go there. Norm, you said when you watch him bowl, you feel like you're looking at a what?
I'm looking at a bulldog. I mean, he's just going to get down in there and grind you to oblivion. There is never a time where he just goes through a routine spare like it's routine.
Right.
He gets in there and grinds at that spare. That's what I call a bulldog. I tried to do that when I was out there. It's tough.
No offense, he does not look like a bulldog. He looks like a well-manicured French-Canadian.
Man of mystery.
Or that as well, yeah. I bet there's some mystery lurking in Mr. Hanrahan's closets as well, huh? I like Packy. Packy looks like a dude I'd enjoy hanging out with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, you know, that rough upbringing in Greenwich, Connecticut, things we can relate to. And there he is getting a strike there in the ninth.
Yeah, and he's got his own YouTube channel.
He does. The House Bowling YouTube channel. So whoever he's rooming with for the week, am I understanding this correctly? They make a TV show about it? On the YouTube
They
thing?
rent a house.
They rent a house.
And the Tangs, Kris Prather, Kevin Williams, Mitch Hoope. A lot of guys, they just share the house so they can keep expenses down. They have less cars that are required, and they call it The House Bowling YouTube channel.
I'm going to guess the renter lays down a pretty heavy deposit on their back. Needs 2 and 4. There's one of them. And again, Hanrahan, your 17 seed, the last man to make the 17-man step ladder. 8 hours of step ladder bowling. 8 hours. Tonight, tomorrow, Sunday. Packy just burned his last re-rack. Lead at 17. A strike and 4. We'll see him move on to take on 15 seed. That's right, I said 15 seed. Sounds kind of odd saying that. Tim Gruendler.
He knows he needs it too because François lined up on the right lane. Messenger! Oh, just missed the 7.
Good shot.
Yeah, that's the same thing, Randy, we were talking about. That little extra oil down lane on the left lane keeps that ball from running over him. It just kind of flutters, and it doesn't hit weak because it's Packy.
Yeah, and it's still a messenger, but in front. Deflection. Right as that head pin started to come across.
Damn.
Now, François Lavoie, with a couple strikes and 7 here in the 10th, can move on.
Yeah, and I'm asked all the time about from amateurs, why do I leave so many 10 pins? Deflection, you just said it.
Yeah. Entry angle.
Lavoie could have been shut out. Now he can win it here in the 10th. Needs 2 strikes. There's the first.
That's pretty good.
Take a look at this right here, guys. Last 2 shots on that lane.
Well, we talked about his success on television in majors. It's because you can drop shots like that when you have to have them. Needs 7.
bulldog right there. That's what a bulldog is. Now, he needs 7. I tell you what, I would not be against throwing it right down the middle, trying to get the count. François is not going to do that, but I've been in his position right now. I've lost more than I've won looking at it.
François moves on with the 214, 210 win.
That's pretty good there in the 10th frame, guys.
It's pretty good, yeah. Hanrahan threw such a great shot for the shutout. Didn't get the break on the 7. Lavoie steps up and just murders it.
Well,
Bye-bye.
I mean, let's not forget the 2 early breaks Hanrahan got and the solid 8 for François.
Good point.
Thank you.
So the Canadian François Lavoie moves on as he continues his pursuit for his second ever TOC title. Need 2 strikes and 7 in the 10th. Got all 3. Frankie moves on. Up next for him, Tim Gruendler, who makes his TV debut. Welcome back inside iconic Riviera Lanes, just outside Akron, Ohio. Night 1 of 3 straight here on Fox Sports of Tournament of Champions coverage. François Lavoie, 4 pins better than Packy Hanrahan, so the 16 seed moves on now to take on Tim Gruendler. After this, still 2 more matches here in night 1 of our TOC coverage.
Thanks, Rob. So, Tim, not only is this the first time that you've been on national television, but you made a major telecast, and you did it at the historic Riviera Lanes. What is this moment like for you?
It's unbelievable. It's a moment I'm never going to forget, and I'm just trying to enjoy every second of it.
Well, good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Did you see that, Rob? His best finish this year, 94th in the U.S. Open. Holy cow.
You know, there's a good
Until today.
There's a good and a bad for Tim on tonight's telecast. I'll get to that when he gets up.
Lavoie batting leadoff. Remember, Lavoie had that open frame to start our opening match, able to bounce back. Ended up rattling off 8 strikes, including the last 4, to get that narrow come-from-behind win over Hanrahan.
So you guys want to know the good and the bad? I'll tell you right after his intro.
Making his PBA TV debut, he bowls out of Shrewsbury Lanes in St. Louis, Missouri. Number 15 seed, Tim Gruendler.
All right, so the good, make it a telecast. Yeah. He said he wanted to enjoy every second. Let me tell you how fast this game goes.
It's about a second, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness. Remember your first time on television? It was like it was over in a minute and a half.
That's how you start, Timmy G. That's how you start.
Great opening shot by Tim, who's got an absolute beautiful game. I saw it for the first time earlier today, but check out this form. Look how steady that head is. It reminds me a little of Kris Prather. You see that cup wrist at the bottom, and then right here at the point of release, just a beautiful hand. And then the follow-through that goes left of his head. Watch this. Check that out. He's got a little Kris Prather in there,
That looks exactly like Kris Prather.
I'm telling you.
Yes, it does.
Gruendler hopes to survive to see Prather later tonight. Back-to-back opening jacks. Prather is your 13th seed. The winner of this match will take on Wes Malott, and then it's Kris Prather waiting in the wings.
Look, I got to tell you guys, when you get compared style-wise to Kris Prather, that's pretty high praise.
Not so bad, is it?
Don't you think, Rob?
I agree. I agree. Here's the Bulldog, François Lavoie, French-Canadian Bulldog.
Oh, that's not good.
Brooklyn, yeah!
Take it, man, take it.
I've heard of a French bulldog, but I'm not sure I've ever heard of a French-Canadian bulldog. But, wow, what a gift here for François Lavoie as he looks down at the foul line. Maybe a sliding issue, but crosses over and gets a great Brooklyn hit and a break on that 9-pin. What do you see going on here, Norm? Brooklyn and then high.
Yeah, the right lane when he went Brooklyn was just a bad shot.
Okay.
I think that he loves that lane, loves the ball on it. Left lane, I don't think there's anything to like about that right now. He did get a couple of strikes in the first match on that lane, but they weren't just, you know,
convincing.
Cha-ching. Exactly,
Okay.
not convincing. And most of his shots over there, he's been waiting. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Well, this time he cherries the 6-10. Remember in game 1, he chopped the 4-7, chopped the 4 straight back. And this is just a miss wide right. But remember, he told us, guys, when he made that grip change, that he was still figuring things out. And one of the things he was struggling with was his feel for shooting spares.
No doubt. Need to clean up the spare game. His direct quote.
Timmy G.
Oh!
Strike, strike, strike.
First time on television. First time we ever met him was earlier today as we take a look at that replay. And we said, anything you want us to mention? He said, yes. Could you please give a shout out to Mom? Pops John is here, but Mom, Connie, couldn't make it, working this week. And like a good boy, Connie, you raised a good boy. He wanted to make sure Mom got the proper recognition, and your baby boy's doing just fine.
That looks good.
Oh, looking for a four-leaf clover on St. Patty's Day. Doesn't get it.
And Gruendler going with a UFO alert for his orb of choice in this match against Lavoie.
A what?
A UFO alert.
Well, not figuratively. Spare ball. Usually an easy spare here, but it is his first one on television.
Got it. Yeah, there's a little exhale right there.
Yep.
For Tim. Native of St. Louis, Missouri, bowled collegiately at Lindenwood University in St. Charles, Missouri. That's about 30 minutes outside of St. Louis. So he takes a seat rather.
We got a ball change on the right lane. He's going to the same ball that he's using on the left lane, at least the same type of ball.
Down 31 after 3.5 frames. Wow. Looking for a change, and he leaves a 7-10.
Yeah.
You make a ball change, you make a really good shot. I mean, you really have to suck it up that first time when you don't know how, and then he makes a great shot in 7-10.
Yeah, and then he gets throat punched.
How many times has the 7-10 been picked up on TV, boys?
I'm going to say 4.
The last to do it?
Ginger Assassin.
Anthony Noyer. The French-Canadian assassin only takes care of the 10.
Yeah, he's going to go out there and give another ball a shot now.
Yeah, he's searching
why
right
wouldn't
now.
you? Yeah, why
Absolutely.
wouldn't you?
Down 42 through 4.
How many?
Yeah,
42. What happened?
Yeah, it's right there.
Well, that's what happened. Back-to-back open frames and a great start for Gruendler.
Whoa! Sideways right off the end of the pattern, Norm. Now what? Another ball? Move deeper? Open up your angles?
All of the above. This is a spare he just missed.
All right, that time he covers the 6-10. But when you're Tim Gruendler, you're in a really comfortable spot right now. First time on television, you got a huge lead halfway through your first ever match on TV. And there's a look at his arsenal. But again, watch the skill set that Tim has. Just a beautiful form, a beautiful game. Look look at that. He's getting it to kind of roll out stop there, Norm.
Yeah, I like his soft hand. I mean, a lot of times the guys are going to tuck that pinky and get some air underneath it off their release. He is just winding on it off his release, so it's cleaner.
What do you mean? I mean, I know what you mean, but tell the folks watching at home, what do you mean by a soft hand?
A soft hand, meaning off his hand, it's really clean. Revving like no tomorrow, but clean. As soon as you get that hand in it and you get a little bump off, that means you're going to get it a little further out on the lane. It's just going to react more aggressively down lane.
Oh, got a good break with a 7 drop in the lane.
Right.
It's twice in a row on that lane that he's had a little trouble getting it to roll through the pins.
Well, and that's the hooking lane out of the 2. So a little bit more angle, a little bit deeper on that lane, and you got to make sure that that axis rotation is perfect if you're going to cover that much territory.
Good call.
95% of the time on the tour, the 10-pin is covered.
I thought you were going to say 95% of the time it's made every time. I mean, that's kind of your wheelhouse.
That is kind of my wheelhouse. You're not wrong, partner. You're not wrong. Tim Gruendler, the St. Louis native, in his TV debut. Yeah, it's going just fine, Mom. It's going just fine. Registration for the inaugural 2023 PBA LBC National Championship. It's now open, and it's open to all bowlers of all skill levels from all centers. And it's coming your way this summer in Milwaukee. You can compete in singles as well as optional doubles and team events. You can even combine your scores with the pros, and you can enter today at PBA.com. And Randy, do you know what the trophy is if you win the inaugural LBC National Championship? You win the Duke. Show it to me. Have you seen this yet, Randy?
I have.
It is glorious.
It's magnificent.
Look at that, Norm Duke. You have a trophy of you.
That's one of the greatest honors I could ever receive. Right there.
Do you remember that moment? And
I
where
do
it was?
remember that. I was against Wes Malott, the 11th frame, right before I bowled Belmonte for my next to last title. How could you forget?
So cool.
By the way, Rob, I've entered you in that event. Just
you have? Thank you.
Yeah, so you have a shot at winning that trophy.
Well,
and we're
listen,
doubles.
Listen, if you can get me to Milwaukee in the summer, I'll do anything. It's great. But I'm only doing my round at the Holler House.
François back to that original ball on the right lane. He only threw the blue one once on that right lane. He went back to the one that he was scoring with pretty good before.
Yeah, now he can't strike. Pocket 7-10, 4-pin, and now solid 7. And his opponent not having any trouble, Tim Gruendler.
You don't see a lot of emotion from François. That's kind of in his DNA also. He was telling us he grew up playing a lot of tennis. Bjorn Borg was one of those guys that he would watch, and Bjorn was just, had that headband, had that flowing hair, had that outfit. What was his sponsor? I could see it so vividly, but he was so stoic and so classy, and Lavoie kind of following him. So as frustrating as this second match has been for Lavoie, is not letting it get away from him. Yes, he's down 43, but he's handling it with typical class. There you go, Frankie.
Well, created some angle on that shot, guys. Check that out.
Randy, do you have an Instagram account?
I do.
You do? Is it good?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I got a guy who's better than you at Instagram.
Oh, not a good time for that. But
No.
You got a guy?
I got a guy, and you're looking at the guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Tim Gruendler here. The Instagram is, we're going to show it to you here in a second after this shot, Tim_Gruendler, who's working on that 40-pin lead here in the 7th. He's got himself a bit of an interesting Instagram account. Are you scrolling to go find it right now?
I am.
Can you focus on the bowling right now? Can you get off
I
your
can
phone?
do both.
It's like I'm dealing with my 4 kids right now. Can you get off the phone? Can you be engaged?
Ooh, good try.
Try to chop it over. So an open frame there for Gruendler. All right, so he's got a bit of a theme on many of his Instagram pics. Yeah, he's got the Johnny Bravo bowling ball, and it goes places. Right, so he's with the Stanley Cup.
That's
wow.
great.
Little
Yeah.
St. Louis. Oh, he's put in some SPF on the ball at the beach.
Yeah.
I don't believe that is a floatable device. Oh, the Johnny Bravo ball.
I'm not so. Look, I'm hip with the Johnny Bravo ball, just not the see-through backpack.
Anything for the gram. Anything for the gram. So, Kimberly, why the Johnny Bravo ball?
Tim said that he takes the Johnny Bravo ball everywhere he goes, including on vacation, because he thinks it's funny and it really showcases his personality. And get this, guys, he actually got it at a St. Charles bowling center that was closing down. And he's actually lost it a few times, had to put signs up on Instagram to say, listen, I want my ball back. And he has got it back.
Missing Johnny Bravo bowling ball. Please return. No questions asked.
Nothing like having a bolo out on your Johnny Bravo ball.
Well,
That cuts it down to 18 pins now.
yeah, all of a sudden things are getting a little tight. Still 2 frames to go here.
Yep. With a strike here for Lavoie, could get real interesting. And also, he can give Tim Gruendler something to think about.
Because let's be honest, Tim has not had a lot to think about.
Hasn't been pushed
Not at all. Opening, let's see, got the opening 3 strikes.
Yeah.
4 strikes in his first 5 frames, and that's while Lavoie was throwing open frames in the 3rd and the 4th. So it was a huge, comfortable lead for Gruendler, and now Lavoie, the French-Canadian Bulldog, cutting into that deficit, and another strike.
All right, so a lot to think about, guys, for Tim Gruendler stepping up here in the 9th frame. Remember, last time up on that right lane, he split.
Yes.
The deficit in single digits, just like basketball, right here in March Madness. We're getting blown out. If we can just get it to 10 and under, we got some life.
Right.
So here's Gruendler, first time on TV, native of St. Louis. What do you got, Timmy G? Big ball, big strike.
Well, he hit that stripe that is intended target line right on the line. And that's pretty hard to do in the 9th frame when you need it.
Yeah. Just an excellent shot here. Just inside 4th arrow. Sets up perfectly in the 1-3. All 10 go down. And now he needs a strike and 7 to shut out François Lavoie.
That was right at target.
Uh-oh.
Lucky he left just those 2 pins, the 2 and 4.
Yeah, and you can see that target line started out right where his intended line is. That tells me he mishit it. That means it went farther down the lane and hooked less.
And then you can see it kind of roll out and stop while it was trying to come up the hill.
Yeah, just not enough hand in that. He meant to get a little more on it. 1 spare here keeps him right in it.
Max score 212 now for Tim. And you can see right there, François Lavoie can strike out for 216. So again, another game for Lavoie coming down to the 10th frame.
It was a come-from-behind win for Lavoie in the last match, a 214-210 win over Packy Hanrahan. Needed 2 strikes and 7 in the 10th. Got all 3 for the win.
He's going to have to do the same thing.
Now we could have another buzzer beater here for Lavoie. Let's see how Gruendler handles this. A big strike in the 9th. How are his nerves here on his last shot in the 10th?
Left.
And he goes Brooklyn. What a break. May not be enough, though.
Same scenario for François Lavoie. 2 and 7 is what he needed in game 1. A double and 7 here in game 2. And François will move on once again. Anything less, Tim Gruendler will advance.
Doesn't
get it. Gruendler moves on.
No luck on the 4.
Yeah, he threw a pretty good shot there. Got it right. Maybe a board early. Got full hand in it. Overreacted and almost went through the nose. Still a good shot there.
Good boy, man.
Quite a comeback for Lavoie, but dug himself too big of an early hole. And it's Tim Gruendler, the 15 seed, moving on. You know who's next? The big nasty making his way onto the lanes right now. The Hall of Famer, Wes Malott, set to battle Gruendler when we return here to the TOC.
We welcome you back to Fox Sports coverage of the 2023 PBA Tournament of Champions, and we're just getting started. It's Friday night, but we've got 4 hours coming your way live tomorrow night, also available on the Fox Sports app, all leading up to Sunday's 2-hour final live here on Fox. The Hall of Fame tag team duo of Randy Peterson and Norm Duke joining us this week for our coverage. Rob Stone back here with you, and the Tournament of Champions features the best of the best from the PBA. But who is best dressed for success from the PBA? That is our subject of tonight's Pressing Questions with Kris Prather, presented by Go Bowling.
EJ, would you consider yourself a fashionable guy?
No, not at all.
I'm not really too worried about how I physically look. I don't have to look at myself like everyone else has to look at me.
I don't want my children to look at me shamefully and think I dress like, a quote-unquote dad.
Arturo, I have to say, out of everyone that I've seen here today, you are easily the most fashionable. Where does this come from?
I always like to dress really nice, so I just like to also combine my color of my hair with my shirts and pants. So I do like green, blue, pink. I think everything matched perfect.
Kevin Williams, he kind of puts it all together with everything.
Kevin, I have to admit, he's always looking nice off the lanes.
I like to wear myself up there, but I can name some other people. Belmo dresses very nice. I think that's the first person that kind of comes to my mind here. But I am number one. It's me, for sure.
François Lavoie, he's pretty smooth.
Who do you think has the best fashion style on tour?
Good question. Me? Is it me?
So to me, it comes down to Jesper or Frankie, but both of them are so skinny, it's hard to tell. Because is it fashionable, or is it just that they're like both in great shape and like kind of skinny models? Would their clothes look that good if they were on me? Probably not.
Who has the best fashion sense on tour?
Oh gosh, I don't even know what fashion anymore. No sense of fashion. You are asking the wrong. You do. How about that? You have the best sense of fashion out on tour out of anybody that I know.
I'll take it.
Oh, that Dick Allen, quite a sweet talker over there. All right, so back in the day when you guys were in your prime, who was the best dressed on the tour? Oh, the most memorable dress is Guppy Truth. I mean, still is. He'd cut his pants in half and wear 2 different legs.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know if it was an outfit for Guppy or if it was the curtains that were pulled off of a Motel 6 hotel rooms, but nobody beat Guppy when it came to fashion.
So good. Coming up next, we're going to see Wes Malott, and Wes Malott is not the same Wes Malott that we're used to seeing through his Hall of Fame career. No, he's struggling with a lower back issue at this point, and he's told us that he's kind of changing his game right now in order to relieve some of that pressure. So, Randy, we just saw it.
Yeah. I just I saw it firsthand, and, in our meetings with him, he said he had to alter his approach with a little more loft, and I just watched him throw a few shots. That's not a little more loft. That's a lot more loft.
And Kris Prather is going to have an interview with him coming up when our coverage of the TOC returns here, and it is one of the premier events in all of the PBA, and it is a 17-man stepladder final. It's 14 versus 15 coming up next year on FS1. Welcome back to Fairlawn, Ohio, and the historic Riviera Lanes. Coming up next, the Big Nasty versus Grinded Out Tim Gruendler. Let's hear from Wes Malott with our Kris Prather.
Thanks, Rob. Well, you hear that crowd? That is for you right now. So let's talk about the fact that this is the first, actually it's the second time that we've seen you complete a tournament this season because you've had a lower back injury. But you told us in the pre-show that you wanted to finish this weekend, even though you thought about quitting a few times. What adjustments are you going to have to make so that you get through tonight?
Well, Kimberly, it's been rough, but you know, making some changes, going through life. Mainly, I just have to thank my support team, my beautiful fiance that's behind us. Drove in with the kids today. My other 2 kids back in Texas, Camden and Brooke. And then obviously thank all my sponsors, especially Storm, Rotogrip, for standing behind me through this while I go through this. You know, that's where it really goes to. Hats off to them for supporting me. Chiropractor, Dustin Sherman back home, all the guys. I mean, these guys are helping me through this and getting me through this. But, you know, I wasn't going to pull out this week. Once I started, it was very, very difficult because I wasn't going to be the person that starts a tournament and takes away a spot from someone who's out here trying to you know, put food on their table for their family. I just couldn't do it. So if that's what got me through and put me here today, you know, so be it. I just know I'm very fortunate and thankful to be standing here next to you right now.
And these fans are very thankful that you are here as well. Good luck to you today, guys.
An emotional Wes Malott. A big nasty. Maybe the big softy as he starts maturing.
Yeah, I mean.
Been through a lot. We have great admiration and a huge amount of love for Wes Malott.
Norm and I have both been in that situation. Both have gone through multiple surgeries and issues, and we know exactly where Wes is coming from.
He's taking on the youngster, the 27-year-old Tim Gruendler, and Gruendler running into some early issues there. Yeah, give it a little look back there. The Cinderella story from St. Louis, Missouri. He is the 15 seed here. Do you guys know what a 15 seed did last night at the NCAA tournament? Princeton, the 15 seed, took down the 2 seed, Arizona.
So you're saying there's still a chance?
100% there's a chance. There's a reason they call it March Madness. Gruendler. Nice cleanup, Tim.
With 10 PBA Tour titles, he rolls out of MVP Lanes in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Number 14 seed, Wes Malott.
Come on. Make the most of it.
Show the loft. No, yeah, but then show the loft as well. Well, let's take a look at some of the physical adjustments that Wes has had to make because of that back issue. So he can't bend over near as far as he normally does, which makes the launch angle much higher off the floor, which in turn looks like he's lofting it a lot.
And an open frame to start.
And Norm, how painful do you think spare shooting is for Wes?
I've bowled with this guy for 10 years in the doubles. I mean, 10 of the greatest. I've never seen this much pain out of him. And both of us have bowled in pain before, but I get it. I'm getting emotional just watching it. But you know, he's the big nasty for a reason.
Going with the absolute on both lanes for Wes to start.
There you go, nasty. There you go.
A lot of airtime.
Yeah. Well, on the replay, Randy, his loft goes out of the screen.
That's about 12 feet.
I mean, that's who lofts it more? Well, like, let's see, Maximum Bob back in the day?
Well, typically the guys...
Robert Smith?
Yeah, but I mean, typically the guys wouldn't loft it that far unless they ran out of lane and they had to loft it over the gutter.
Back to Gruendler, the 15 seed, left the 10.
I mean, on the flip side, Gruendler's laying it down right at the foul line. But he's got a lot more upper body lean. He can get the ball closer to the floor.
Well, if Wes can't get knee bend, then he's going to have loft, but he's added to loft.
But when you're that big, it's not just knee bend. You have to have knee bend and upper body tilt.
No doubt. Yeah, Tim started bowling at 2 years old.
2 years old? How are you bowling at 2 years old?
Because your mom needs, hi Connie, your mom needs a babysitter. So she takes you into lanes 1 and 2 are your babysitter. I know this because that's what my mom did.
I mean, that's the original two-handed bowling, right? When you're 2 years old, you're just pushing it with 2 hands.
Yeah, he said, yeah, I probably started with 2 hands, but ended up with 1.
It's a ball change.
Whoa, way wide right.
Yeah, he went to a Wolverine and just whipped the head pin on that shot because of how far right. You can see 3.6 at the break point down lanes. Farthest any ball has been right today, I believe. Yes, that is accurate. You see the line on the lane right there. There's nobody's been in that zone.
No, it just looks like that ball got no friction and it just kept going. Tough spare.
And it's covered. 1, 2, 4 goes down. So 3 straight spares for Gruendler. Remember, he started the last match with 3 straight strikes.
It might go to the Wolverine on both lanes, or just too early.
So he's talking about going to that Wolverine, which is a little cleaner, a little longer down the lane, because especially on that left lane does hook more.
Last year here, outside of Akron, Malott enshrined into the PBA Hall of Fame. That's 2 in a row for the nasty after that open frame in the first.
You're going to love this, Rob. He just made a ball change on that right lane. Name of the ball is Eternity.
Why am I going to love that?
I just thought you would like that
No,
for some reason.
I want like a surly, nasty, stupid name. That's what I want. I'm in charge of surly, nasty, stupid names.
Start making a list.
You know people at Storm. Like, how can I not get in there and create my own bowling ball name?
You can.
Well, let's do it. What are we waiting for?
Put a list together.
Gotcha. 3 in a row from the nasty.
What say you, Norm Duke?
Well, I think he was just giving us all a head fake, you know, getting us all to relax.
Come on.
And, you know, here we go.
No
Let me
way.
tear up a little bit and then throw some 10-bagger at you.
Giving us a head fake.
Head fake. Who hasn't done that?
Oh, my God. Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series. It heads to the high banks in Atlanta, where full throttle pack racing will be on display. There's numerous racing terms in this promo that I have no idea what it means. Who will survive every turn and be in it to win it at the end? The engines fire up Sunday, 3 Eastern on Fox. You guys were just in Phoenix, Randy, for the celebrity bowling outside of the lanes there. And that looked like a lot of fun. You guys sending me pictures of that.
Well, I think this is one thing that Tim Gruendler is going to be learning about television, is the transitions, it's quicker, there's more lights, the rev rate on television, because you have to bowl guys like Prather, Big Nasty, it changes so much quicker. So if you're only moving 1 board per frame in qualifying, you're moving 2 on television.
Good cleanup there. Again, this is his first television match. Admitted, didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. Really excited. And guess where we are? Norm, I would like to welcome you to the Beer Frame, sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ask for the original, and please drink responsibly. The PBR Beer Frame. We are in Milwaukee in around a month for the World Series of Bowling.
I'll have a Pabst.
Uh-oh.
Rut Row is right.
Tim may need one.
It is a big challenge here. 4, 6, 7.
Well, he's lost that left lane, guys. And, you know, it's the 4, 6, 7. Might as well put the 10 up because it'd be the same type of split you're shooting at, and it's only been made once in the history of bowling, professional bowling on television, and that was by Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Well, he went back to his ball rep. He asked him, should I do the Wolverine on both lanes? The thing is, both lanes he's lost. So if he stays with the same ball, it's likely that there's just a small amount of adjustment. But if he goes with 2 different balls, oof.
Yeah, a quick word of advice for Gruendler. Working the Wolverine in the state of Ohio,
correct,
you're kind of setting yourself up for trouble.
Just so I'm comfortable. Got me a razzle, don't know which ball I'm throwing.
Whoa. Well, look at this. Your former tag team partner there. His last title back in 2015 with you, Norm.
I'll take full credit
That's
for
hard
that
to,
one.
By the way, that's hard to believe.
Isn't that?
Just saying.
Yeah, me too.
Hellbone! Oh, big nasty. What is that again?
Don't give me that.
Four-bagger? Hellbone?
This is beautiful. He's starting to get a little comfy with that loft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a dangerous man,
folks,
when he's in a comfort zone.
Sorry, Rob. Guys, for the folks at home watching, if you don't think this is a physical sport, try throwing it like that for 42 games and then bowling television.
With a bad back.
Yeah.
Oh! The loft is working. The lead, 49. And the big nasty is in the house and running away with things. Have a laugh. You deserve it. Malott, the 14 seed. Gruendler, the 15 seed. We wrap it up next here at the TOC. PBA Tournament of Champions, play-in round 1 continues here. Match number 3, the winner of this one to take on your 13th seed, Kris Prather. Again, 4 hours of live coverage tomorrow on FS1, and then our 2-hour Sunday final on Fox. Tim Gruendler making his TV debut, already has 1 win. Took care of François Lavoie, but he has run into a wall here in the form of Wes Malott, down 49. Desperately needs his first strike here, and he won't get it. And again, issues.
Yeah, like somebody went out and poured tar on the lanes in between his last game and this game, Norm. I mean, just a super ton amount of friction going on for Tim. He hasn't figured out how to get the ball to push far enough to the right without hanging or keeping it right of the head pin.
Yeah, I don't think he believes that they've transitioned that much. But when you have Wes Malott throwing 5 shots on each lane with that rev right, yeah, he'll change them.
How many times has he faced the 3-6-10 already this game? A nice cover there. That's his 3rd 7 spare already.
It's a big-time learning experience. I mean, none of us know what's going to happen. We're told, but we still work off of our feel, the same feel we've had all of our life. It's a different feel on TV. Everything happens quicker.
Well, you can hear it in his breath, right?
Now there's some loft.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. And it paid off. There you go. Strike number 1, but it comes in the 7th frame. Norm, do you hear sirens in the background? Do you see some blue and red? Yeah, there it is. We've got a 6-pack alert. A Pabst 6-pack alert. If Wes strikes here, he's going to win $1,000, sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Please remember to drink responsibly. 6-pack alert.
Okay. Pretty good shot.
But he knew it right away. You heard that. Oh.
Yes, but was that because of the shot, or was that pain in his back?
Good point.
Well, he just striped it right where his last shot's tendon line, so I would think that had to be a good shot.
Ooh. What do you call that, Rob?
No. Those were form-fitting skinny jeans. Yeah, they weren't super tight.
So those were,
by the way,
slip fit?
People I don't want to see in skinny jeans, I'll take Wes Malott for 500, please. Can you imagine the battle to get skinny jeans off of the big nasty? Oh, my goodness. Oh, I love Wes Malott. Love that Hall of Famer. Former Player of the Year as well, when he won 3 titles back in 08-09.
He'll take that. He's leading by 47. He'll take that all day long.
I'll take 9 spare for 100 the rest of the way.
Rest of the game.
For sure. Again, it's crazy. His last singles TV appearance.
Oh.
Got that.
He's up right.
Issue. Yeah, he's okay. He didn't go down. His last singles TV appearance before this, you got to go back to the 2021 PBA Players Championship Central Region Qualifier. Long time ago. Guess what's coming, guys? Baseball season is almost here. Returns April 1st. Your home for Saturday baseball is MLB on Fox all season long. The biggest stars, best teams square off in the biggest games on the best day of the week.
Amazing. Amazing. He can't get it right at the head pin, no matter what ball or how he throws it.
We got it right in the 7th. That was on the left lane. The right lane, no, heck, every lane's been issues for him this game.
I mean, and I get that he probably hasn't seen this much hook all week. Norm, would you say that's fair? Or?
That's absolutely fair. No, maybe he's seen this much hook in the night rounds. However, he didn't think it was going to happen with only 2 people on an approach. That's what those lights do.
Guess what? Another 7 spare.
1 strike the entire game.
Crazy. Speaking of 1, our number 1 seed, EJ Tackett, we will see him Sunday on Fox as we bring to a close the 17-man, this unprecedented 17-man step ladder. And when we were interviewing Gruendler, none of us had met him before, EJ Tackett was in the room, and he chimed in. And he said, I want to talk about this young man's poise. 2 shots in a row, he 8-pinned, and still came back to win the match and walk off the lanes. So hopefully this is a sign of bigger and better things to come for Mr. Gruendler.
What pin did you say he left?
1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5, no, 6, 7. Wasn't the 7. Wasn't the 9 either. It was the one between the 7 and the 9. The 8 pin.
That's what I thought you said.
The 8 pin. There's the 4 pin kicked into the 7. So they're racking. So another spare for Gruendler. 9 frames, 1 strike. You're going against a Hall of Famer. Good luck on moving on. If you're Wes, with that bad back and a comfortable lead, how do you approach these last 2 frames?
Don't do anything different. You might want to test the waters and move left and see how much you can get away with, but.
Better. Will it crack off of that?
Yeah, and it didn't crack off of that spot right there. Check it out.
Yeah, he's trying to get his hand around the ball so it gets all the way to the break point. But if you get it that far around it, and he liked it. Now he said, just like that. Well, he got down there into the carry down and just kept going. It's like there was no friction down there. Well, at least not anymore.
Oh, my. Handful.
That was terrible.
It's quite a thud when it landed as well.
Look, there's no pictures on the scoreboard, right? All I see is a spare.
Correct. Correct. 3rd straight spare for Malott after he ran off 5 straight strikes. And he has moved on. So up next for Malott, your 13 seed, Kris Prather.
Every time I see that Snickers sign, it makes me hungry.
Product placement, my friend. Listen, I know Wes kind of was cruise control through this one, but after he ran off those 5 straight strikes, frames 7, 8, 9, and 10 have been less than pretty for him.
Yeah, they've been a little boring. You know, I look for Wes to make this and then maybe make an adjustment, maybe a Norm Duke special move where Norm used to say, the move I just made was a Mother May I. Mother May I move this many boards to the left and still hit the pocket. So I look for Wes Malott to do just that.
Mother May I.
Yeah, there was nothing like the feeling of making a Mother May I, because if it gets back, you can just hang on for about 5, 10 minutes. That's a ball change, right?
Yep.
Good week.
So again, we have yet to see an upset. All the seeding has remained true as Malott with a 222. Wow. That is the high score for the day. He'll move on. Up next for him, 2020 TOC winner, Kris Prather. Malott to move on to Saturday night.
The on-lane graphics you see tonight, including the ball tracer, courtesy of Clutch Bowling. Welcome you back inside historic Riviera Lanes in Fairlawn, Ohio, just south of Cleveland and just west of Akron. Oh, Team Shark in the house. Kris Prather, your 13 seed, set to take on Wes Malott. And here is Kris with Kimberly.
Thanks, Rob. So, Kris, you actually won this event in 2020 in this actual building, but this weekend is a little bit different because you have a wrist injury. So, one, how is the wrist doing? And two, how does all of that change your game plan coming into tonight?
It's probably about 90%. It's doing all right. I'm going to play the lanes a little bit differently. You know, everybody's used to the hand finishing left of my face and a lot of rotation, and it's not going to be like that. I'm not able to do the Kris Prather stuff, not very consistently anyway, so taking a different game plan approach, still going to be left, but maybe not as much speed or rotation.
Good luck with that today.
Thank you.
Kimberly, thank you. So Kris Prather steps away, takes in a couple more warm-up shots as he gets set to take on the big nasty Wes Malott. Our final match of the evening coming your way uninterrupted when we return to the TOC on FS1. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Knock your initial mortgage rate down by up to 3% with rate reduced from Guaranteed Rate. Learn more at rate.com. And by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to gobowling.com to find a center near you. We welcome you back to FS1's coverage of the Tournament of Champions, one of 5 majors on the PBA Tour. I love you too, Randy.
Oh, thank you.
Now the Shark set to attack the rack next. And the lanes have been beat up. They've been attacked as well so far tonight.
Yeah, they really have. And right here in the middle part of the lane, you can see that worn area. And much farther right than when we saw the players in match 1. And that's just the oil burning up and transitioning.
Kris Prather will start us up. We have not had an upset yet. All the seeds have held. The winner of this one moves on to tomorrow night's action. Tom Smallwood, your 12 seed. Waiting to find out who he'll face tomorrow night. Prather starts us off with the strike. All right, Randy, you showed us the burned out areas. Let's see where Prather attacked.
Yeah, he's actually just a pinch left of that zone, and that makes sense because that area, that worn area, is really dry. He's got to be inside of that, right, Norm?
You get inside of that so that if you miss right, you're on that worn area. The worn area, that's the evidence of the transition we were talking about at the very end, at that 40-foot mark. That's where that blue oil stopped.
Hated it. Great break.
You walk around this place, you pick so much stuff up on your feet, clean it off, and then stick. Cool.
You know, I had this problem a lot too. You get the build out of the TV sets and all that kind of stuff. It just creates dust. And if you start walking around, you pick up some of that dust, you got to wipe it off.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, you know the name of the ball that Wes Malott just switched to? Do you want to know?
Only if it's a good name.
RST X2.
What does RST stand for?
It's a great question.
And then the X2. You can't even answer my first part of my question. Then my follow-up is, well, what about the X2?
Square? Times 2?
Yeah, maybe. This is what I'm talking about, Randy.
Oh,
you and I have a future in naming bowling balls.
Oh, Utah's going to blow up my phone.
What? I'll take care of it. Send him. Just pass him on to me.
All right. Norm? Yeah. Norm, you have any thoughts on? No? Okay. Thanks, Norm.
I'm enjoying the guy knocking back a St. Patty's beer behind the lot in the crowd.
Was it green? You're right.
That was big. That's all I know. There we go. There's a strike for the big nasty. So the Hall of Famer goes spare strike to start this one. Again, the survivor of this match moves on to tomorrow night's coverage, 7:30 Eastern here on FS1. It's Stepladder round number 2. And as Norm likes to say,
we're in the midst of 4 different step ladders to get our TOC champ this year.
Prather using a gem.
What a beautiful shot. I've been watching Kris Prather bowl for quite so many years now. I've never seen him so fluent through the release area. He's just basically taking his wrist out of it and just letting go. Now, he still gets a lot of revs because, you know, he's an athletic guy, but he's not getting that aggressive turn like he normally does.
Didn't like it and missed it. Open frame. I don't know if that was wrist or if that was a footing issue again.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's going to go to the wrist either way because you want to make sure everybody knows there's something wrong. Right, Kris?
Just looks like it was a location error.
Yeah, he just hung up in it a little bit.
Well, Kris, if it makes you feel any better, which you probably won't, I missed the 5-pin on television right here at Riviera Tournament of Champions. Oh, man.
Boy, that seems slow.
Really good effort. Exactly, just slow. He's trying to back all of his hand out of the shot so that he can give the ball some time, but sometimes you back that hand out of it and it gets slow.
All right, cut the 3 over into the 4-7, and it was about a mile an hour slower going off of our stats from Lane Talk.
Close.
Oh, yeah! How about you?
Woo! Great pickup, Prather. That is your spare of the game. Sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Lower your initial mortgage rate by 3% with Rate Reduce from Guaranteed Rate, bringing your mortgage rate down hard. Oh, what a spare of the game, and remember that shot.
Well, he just needed more pins down there, right?
I mean, again, crazy, right? He whiffs a 10-pin, which he can make in his sleep, and then he covers a 3-4-6-7.
The nasty up a dozen. We'll add to that. Back-to-back jacks.
Standing right up on top of the bar, he turned on that left lane to get himself far enough left to find some head oil and still get the ball back.
I mean, those trousers are brushing up against it.
Yeah, yeah, and another inch or two right of that break point, and he doesn't hit the head.
Yes, exactly. And he actually gets close to that ball train and walks around it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we all do.
Cheers to Chargers guy in the background again. Wes will walk himself out of that one.
Brave guy wearing a Chargers shirt here in the land of the Browns. Are they that hated? They're not, right?
What's to hate about the Chargers? How many wins
No,
have
I'm
they
talking
given
about the
teams over the
Browns.
years? Yeah, this isn't Browns territory. This is Buckeye territory, my friend. This is OH.
Right. Well,
I-O.
Be right.
Big loft from the big nasty, and not the result he wanted. Double wood.
Yeah, and you heard the double bounce, and that takes
Let your
some
hand roll around the ball, Wesley.
Some of that power off of that shot, delays that hook down lane.
That's all it did, because you can see it's right down the intended target line, just delayed the hook down lane, just like you said.
Let's look at that double bounce. Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. That's another, what, 2 feet?
Much better.
Yeah, just a little too much airtime on that last shot, and that's what made the ball push too long down the lane. But now, Rob, you're talking this is Buckeye territory. Okay, that's collegiate. I get that. But if you're an aficionado of pro sports and you live here,
yeah, you're Browns. I get it. I get it. But I mean, Ohio State rules the state, not just Cleveland, not just Akron, the whole place. I'll fight you. I'll fight you on
You're
this.
missing the point.
Don't make me go Cocaine Bear on you. I'll do it. Nice strike by Prather here. Remember, flashback a couple years ago here at the TOC in Fairlawn. He was the 4 seed
Went from near defeat, courtesy of Sean Rash in his opening match, to then shocking the bowling world. He dropped the top seed, Bill O'Neill, 280-205. I'm sure Bill is thrilled that we're bringing that back up. His first championship match, his third career PBA title, and his first career major. Going for another TOC title. He's got a lot of work to do, not just tonight, but then tomorrow, and then Sunday, should he survive.
Yeah, I mean, if Wes Malott does get through this match, how does he get through the rest of the event?
Hey, one day at a time. First things first. Correct. Get to Saturday. And then Saturday, get to the next round of Saturday. And then get to the fourth ladder on Sunday. And then take down the guy who's running the PBA right now, EJ Tackett. I'm tired just listening to that. March Madness, baby. March Madness. Wes has talked about it, the chiropractors, the workouts, the stretching, the massages.
Yeah.
All of this. So maybe that's what's in store for him tomorrow morning.
Yeah, if he was in the NFL, it'd be a different triage.
Like that one at the release.
I mean, we're talking tires and oil, but a little bit different therapy on that side of the ball.
Yeah, that was a great shot right there. I'm telling you, to get this deep, throw it that far, and get this much angle on the back end, that's my boy right there. And he had that early exit walk away as well, where you know things are going all right. Loved his line to us earlier today. Honestly, a little surprised I'm even here.
Remember, 42 games just to get to this point, guys.
Better. Better. Yes! Better.
There you go. You heard him say better? Well, yeah, that's pretty good right there. And that release, Norm, that also helps to push that ball to the right and get it to return, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
That rotation.
Right, but any miss hit, it keeps going. I saw guys last night throw balls in the gutter from that far left, because if they elbowed it at all, it would just keep going and spin out. And another big early deficit that we're seeing here. Then one of the themes, Prather down 30, and now he's going to have to clean this one up.
Think about how big the deficit would be if he missed that split in the
Correct.
frame.
Yeah, back in the third. Stepped up and fired that one down quickly. 6'10" goes into the pit. Yeah, if I'm Prather at this point, I know Wes knows if it's good or not off his hand, and if it's going to strike or not off his hand. I don't think Prather knows that right now. He needs to get lined up and throw some haymakers. I mean, shoot back.
Well, what did we see in the last match? Tim G had trouble getting the ball right of the headband.
Yeah.
The only guy that's not having trouble getting the ball right of the headband right now is Wes Malott, and it's because of a lot of loft and side rotation.
Yeah. But that's what Kris Prather's that's one of his go-to mechanisms. Thing is, he's told us, with this wrist, I just can't do it.
Make a decision.
Yeah, make a decision. I think right now he's trying to make a decision whether he's going to invest these last 4 frames, even though it may hurt his wrist. I don't know.
Commit to it.
You see how heavily taped up that right wrist is.
Just commit to it.
And commit. He says commit to it. Looks great. That worked.
Nice shot there by Kris Prather, and all 10 cooperate.
He takes a seat. The big nasty is up.
2 more strikes, and it's almost all but over. He can increase the lead to 52 with strikes in the 7th and 8th.
Right of target, 7. And that's one we're talking about. If you miss hit it at all, it just keeps going.
Yeah, look at the lines there.
It's almost to the, second board?
Yep. A little excessive loft on that shot, and some breathing room because of this, for Kris Prather, would have been a nice break to kick that 7 late. Makes this that much tougher.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt his wrist as well.
Right.
He's going to really have to get some hook on this to get the 7th pin out.
Oh, what a nice cover.
Wow. That was perfect.
Wasn't it?
All right, cool.
The lead, though, shrinks down to 29.
This is exactly how you cover that. A little deflection is your friend when you're trying to convert the 1-2-7 for a right-hander. Big shot here, 8th frame for Malott. That's pretty good. Check out the ball speed here, folks. Just under 16 miles an hour for Wes Malott. That's on the slow side in terms of numbers out here on tour.
Right, but he's throwing a lot of shots in the air, and you know that's going to slow it down because when it hits the lane, it's kind of like any other ball when you throw it in the air and hits the lane.
Just
Slows
3
down.
strikes so far for Prather, yet to double. Opportunity to do that here in the 8th. And he won't.
And there's a contrasting difference right there, folks. Prather just under 19 miles an hour, but another high shot.
Rotate it through the face.
And you just got to wonder how much is his wrist bothering him.
I mean, he is talking to himself as he approaches the spare shot.
Well, his A game is to over-rotate, and right now he's trying not to. So his A game is coming in, and, you know, it's kind of hard to manage. It's all right. He's still in this game. He's 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yeah, Norm, he is still in this game, but he's almost approaching this as a rapid-fire event right now and just trying to move on and get out of the way of Wes Malott.
That's correct.
And it's been that kind of year for him. He talked about injury at the U.S. Open to that wrist due to overusage. Goes to Wichita, gets food poisoning or a stomach bug in the middle of match play. And here it is. I mean, he is just stepping up and firing right now. We're in no rush, Kris. But I think he's in a rush to get out of here.
Right behind Wes Malott there, the great Fred Borden, one of the best coaches in the world. 3 nights ago.
The best coach.
3 nights ago, he was inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame.
Uh-oh.
Well, that one was all right.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
We both thought that was all right.
Get off of that lane. Get over to the left lane where you know it's going to hook from that spot. All righty then.
So an open frame in the 9th, the lead down to 17. Maybe Kris is wishing he wasn't in such a hurry.
Any mark.
Any mark,
Malott.
and he'll be in more of a hurry.
Yeah. Well, this would be quite a win for Malott.
This is one of the toughest marks you can get to. Fresh off of a 5-3 in the 9th.
Looks good.
There's your mark. There's your late kick of the 10, and the big nasty moves on.
Sarah in the background, I tell you what, she just loves it when he's bowling good.
He wants to smile. You know he wants to smile.
He's smiling inside,
For
Rob.
sure, Norm, for sure. We're smiling with him, one of our favorites on the tour.
Yes, he is.
There is nothing like getting a hug from the big nasty.
Bad back and all.
Yes, sir.
Malott moves on. He survives Friday night and moves on to Saturday night. Ladder 1, check.
Did you guys see this coming? Honestly.
No.
Because I did not.
No.
because of the way you have to play the lanes right now, the way they broke down, you have to get in, you have to really wheel on it and wind on it. You got to have some power.
And Prather has just been unbelievably great the last 3 years.
What a way to finish up 3 straight to close for the Big Nasty. The satisfying moment of the match is sponsored by Snickers. Nothing satisfies like a Snickers. Nothing satisfies like moving on at the TOC. 2:11 for Wes Malott.
And nothing satisfies like a little Big Nasty extended play.
Gonna have to see how the old back feels in the morning.
Right?
Because it got worked. So Wes moves on. He'll take on Tom Smallwood when our coverage of the TOC returns tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern from right here in Fairlawn, Ohio. 4 straight hours of TOC live coverage on FS1 leading up to Sunday's final on Fox. For the Hall of Famers, Randy Peterson, Norm Duke, for the Queen, Kimberly Presser, and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. Thanks for watching the PBA on FS1, and we will see you again tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern.